सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Hari Om. Today we would be going through the grand plan for celebrating Puja Gurudev's 100th birthday, the centennial celebrations. Whenever we read great masters' life or story, it would feel really awesome after having gone through. Wish we were there during their times. And there were masters who even celebrated their 100th birthday. I was there at one of the great masters. He was called Kanchipuram Periya Swami, the elderly Swamiji, the Kanchipuram Mutt. For many of us, it is a great blessing to be celebrating Puja Gurudev's 100th birthday. In celebrating this 100th birthday, we will be dedicating our best. The idea was that Puja Guruji, when he thought of this centennial celebrations, he gave a slogan, "Unto him our best." When you look at Gurudev's life, his work and teachings, he did not spare even a moment, even an iota, and he gave for us, for the entire humanity, his best. Now, when he gave his best to us, and we are reaping the benefits of it, we are reaping the fruits of it, it would only be right to celebrate his birthday, the centennial celebrations, by giving our best unto him. Therefore, the slogan was, Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha, unto him our best. Now, it is around that corner wherein the plan has to be thought through and it has to be executed well. Now, first we will have to understand what this plan is. So, I'll go in the first step, an overview as to what this plan is. the entire North American continent being so vast, to cover all different mission centers, we thought it would not be feasible to do it in one stretch. Therefore, we have divided the entire North American continent into 4 parts, 4 zones. And in each zone, the Jyothi will arrive. And why is it called a Jyothi? Puja Gurudev, when he named this institution as Chinmaya Mission, it was not after his name that he named it as Chinmaya Mission, but it was because what he stood for. Chinmaya. Chinmaya, full of knowledge. His purpose was to bring this knowledge to everyone across and enlighten everyone with this knowledge of Vedanta. And we light the lamp for any program, any kind of spiritual event or a traditional event. And we start with lighting the lamp. And that lamp denotes Jnana Jyoti. So this Jyoti will represent the Jnana Jyoti. And it will arrive at each center in 4 of these zones, starting from north, going all the way south, starting from east, coming towards west. It will take about 15 months from May 8th, 2015, all the way up to August 3rd, 2016. So all these Jyotis traveling in various zones will arrive in June or July into Dallas, where we will be having the Mahasamadhi camp from July 28th through August 3rd, 2016. And with that Mahasamadhi camp, we will be marking the end of celebrating Gurudev's 100th year celebrations, the centennial celebrations. When the Jyoti arrives at each center, there are some major centers which have satellite centers. There are some centers which are very small. So the various options that we are thinking of in celebrating this Chinmaya Jyoti Yatra, we are calling it the Joy, Jyoti and Yatra. J-O standing for Jyoti and Y for Yatra. So when this Jyoti Yatra arrives in each center, all the possible events that can happen for a period of 4 weeks, I'll be describing them. After having celebrated with that Jyoti, with these possible events, this Jyoti will move forward from that center to the next center. Each center will take the responsibility of sending this Jyoti to the next center in a convoy or in a caravan to the next center where it will be received. And again, for a period of 4 weeks, various possible events that they can chalk out. And thus, in each zone, there are an average about 14 to 15 centers, major and minor centers. We'll touch each center, and through this Jyoti, we are trying to reach across various mindsets. First, for many, Chinmaya Mission has become synonymous to Balavihar. So much so that when they talk about Balavihar, they know Chinmaya Mission as only a place for the children to learn. So the first target to introduce Gurudev, his vision and his life would be our own mission members and congregation. Through them, we will try to reach across to various people in and around that particular center who may or may not have been a part of our congregation, so that they get enlightened with Gurudev's work, and various of his work we can meet through his books, through his videos, through his audio, which we will have an opportunity to introduce that great master's vision for the entire humanity. Third, we can attempt at reaching across various temples in our locality, various language-based organizations like Gujarat Samaj or Kannada Sangha, or the Tana or Ata, which are the Telugu groups. So there are various such groups based on languages. We can approach them. Various religious organizations or temple organizations that which we can approach, and we can take this Jyothi into that temple and have one of these or few of these events organized at that temple, so that we can introduce Gurudev to a vast majority. The idea is that we touch masses with Gurudev's life. Now, how do we make this a possibility? These are the possible events. Now, the possible events are, we start with Paduka Puja. Along with the Jyoti, we take Gurudev's beautiful photo framed with the Padukas. Now, we can take this Jyoti and perform the Paduka Puja at the mission center itself. Or we can even take this Jyoti to various mission members' houses or satellite centers or various of the groups earlier mentioned. Take them to these neighborhoods where there are lots of Indians. I'm sure there are 1 or 2 mission members coming from there. And we organize a Paduka Puja along with bhajans and satsang. Now, this is one format of Paduka Puja wherein we would try to take this Paduka to various homes, various organizations, various institutions. The second format would be at the end of each month or each center's 4 weeks, the last day we can have a grand Paduka Puja, Samashti Paduka Puja, wherein all mission members and their families and the entire congregation can come together to celebrate this Paduka Puja at their center. We have chalked out the line of each center and moved to the next center according to the geographical disposition. That way, each center would have already a prior intimation as to when exactly this Padukas will, this Jyoti will arrive, and thereby they can chalk out their events way ahead of time. So the first one would be the Guru Paduka Puja, Gurudev's Paduka Puja in various devotees' home. We can also bring in a lot of awareness, and we can call it, the walkathons and marathons that we usually do as a fundraiser. We can do it as an event to bring in awareness. So we can organize a Jyoti march or a Jyoti Yatra on a fixed day and invite various people. And after the march, maybe in a nice setting of a picnic or a picnic area, we can do an outdoor event to have this Paduka Puja performed after the walkathon or the Jyoti march is done. This is the second event. Now the third event, though it is listed in here, it is being held or it is being dealt with at the CMW level, Chinmaya Mission West board level, wherein Chick India has taken a huge task and also delivered an amazing movie on Gurudev's life. It is called On a Quest. I've been hearing reviews about from those people who have seen it, and they just can't stop talking about it as to how much they are moved and touched by that movie. Once we heard that this movie was to be released in North America, We thought bringing it into mission centers with those various mission centers may or may not have projectors, or the audio system may not be good, maybe the lighting of the room is not good. In large, it wouldn't do justice to something which has been done with such a professional level to bring about a movie. So we thought we would first release it in, we have about 50 centers. So we are talking with theater groups like AMC or Cinemark or various indie movie theaters, so that they can air this particular movie in various theater systems. Mostly where we have mission centers, we would try to cover maximum mission centers with these theaters. So there is a censorship that has to be done. Then after the censorship is done, then it will be distributed to various of these theater systems, and they will screen. And while we screen at these theaters, Chinmaya Mission, being the producer and the distributor of this movie, we can talk to that theater system and buy it the entire screen or the screening time, the seats in bulk, the entire theater, and then sell it accordingly to our own mission center, our own congregation. Thereby we can use this as a fundraiser as well. The second tier of release would be through various online streaming system like Netflix, Google Play, iTunes, Hulu, and various other such systems wherein we can release this movie in an online streaming system. By the time these two tiers are done, we would be coming to the end of the centennial celebrations. And during the Mahasamadhi camp, we are planning to release a Blu-ray DVD of Gurudev's movie on a quest. So that will be the third tier. Idea being to get this movie across into every family so that they have a personal copy to view Puja Gurudev and his life. And I'm told Guruji, when he went onto the stage after seeing this movie, he was speechless there for 2 minutes with his tears, with his eyes overflowing with tears. So this has been a very beautiful movie. So I'm looking forward to launch this in the entire North America. Now the fourth one is to bring in a lot of involvement in our Balavihar, whether they be at the elementary level, middle school or high school level, or the chicks, the young professionals and the CSK, bringing all of them together and the mission membership together. So we planned and we even launched the pilot version, and we are calling it the Gurudev Musical. So our own in-house talent of chicks, the Yuva Kendra members, have put in a tremendous effort. They have written the script, they have written the lyrics, they have done the stage presentation, they have even composed. So there is a dance aspect, there is a music aspect, there is a director's aspect, and the entire play is already staged. And each center will be provided with the movie, with the play which was recorded. So the movie will be given, the script will be given, the songs will be given. We can involve our own Balavihar and Yuva Kendra groups at each center to enact this play. And personally, when I have seen about 40-45 of them participating regularly to understand Gurudev, to support those 45, there are another 100-150 people who were helping them. Whether it was costumes, whether it was learning the dialogues, or whether it was choreographing different dance sequences. By and large, I found that all these people who participate, even today, after a few months of this play being produced on a stage, we find them talking about Gurudev with such earnest interest. And it's a beautiful feeling to see that a third generation after Gurudev is coming to know him and falling in love with his personality. And this particular play can bring in that difference. Our team has been diligently following up, and as of yesterday I got my first rough cut and I'm looking into it, and the editing has been done. So in couple of weeks, or maybe in a week's time, it will be released to all centers for their viewing, and the script and music will also be provided to them. So that is the fourth item, which will be the Gurudev musical. As I was talking about the in-house talent, our kids have amazing talent. Our kids, when I say our Balavihar kids and Yuva Kendra students, they have amazing talent of music and dance. So about 2 years ago, we released a CD called Yuva Rhythms, and it is a huge success. It's a fusion music. In a similar pattern, we produced the music for the musical that I was talking about. So we'll be releasing that CD as well. So that way, this Yuva Rhythm band, group of young, energetic, dynamic students, there were about 15 of them. They can come to each center on a first come, first served basis. Maybe they can do a tour of about 8 to 10 cities, and we can invite them to our city and we can have a live show of music one evening with various songs. So we are calling this as the Yuva Rhythm Music Night. That's the fifth possible event. Then we have the sixth one, is interfaith dialogue called Jnana Sangam, an interfaith dialogue. We can choose a topic on which Gurudev has already spoken for about 15-20 minutes and have people from different faiths visit our center, and each one opens up their perspective on that particular topic. Having spoken, the local acharya or the board member who is in charge for this entire event, they will speak on that particular topic, and at the end we will give a perspective as to what Gurudev said on this topic. That way we would have an opportunity to bring Gurudev's life into a bigger arena, wherein we would love to take Gurudev's message across, not just to Hindus, but to the entire humanity. Now the seventh one is a little more intense, wherein everybody in Chinmaya mission at our centers, the entire congregation gets to participate. We have all 108 names of Gurudev, and each center will be given two names from those 108 names. So the center can involve Balavihar students or the Yuva Kendra or the membership, even the adults, in understanding those two names of Gurudev, understanding as to how it reflects Gurudev's life, bring about, say, write a poem on those two words, two names, or we have amazing artists, so maybe they can paint, or they can write songs, or they can write an article, or collect Gurudev's photographs which depict those two names. When we have the final 1 week, it will be an amazing event to display all these things in our Chinmaya Mission Center, wherein everybody gets to participate and learn Gurudev's two names. The best of all these presented can be brought over to the Mahasamadhi camp in 2016, wherein all these events will culminate, and we can have all 108 names displayed with a poem, with a piece of music, or a painting, or an article, or various such talents that can be brought in. Again, the idea being that we introduce Gurudev's life, and there is chintanam, there is contemplation on Gurudev's life, which people are enforced to do when they start thinking about these two names. So that is called the art exhibition on Gurudev's names. We can of course invite various acharyas to have satsangs on these 108 names or various aspects of Gurudev's life. So satsangs with acharyas. And in places where it is not feasible or not possible to invite acharyas, we have something called inspiration satsang. We'll bring about 100 or 150 topics or quotations from Gurudev, and you can have it in a bowl. The membership who wants to participate can pick from that bowl and prepare for a week on that particular topic to present 15 minutes of talk on that particular topic. That way, we can have a mini yajna series, say for about 5 days or 3 days or 7 days. Again, the sky is the limit. As many people participate, they understand what Gurudev's quotation means from their perspective, and we can have satsangs to their personal inspiration with that quotation that they have picked. So this is the inspiration satsanga. Then we have the final culmination would be the Samashti Paduka Puja, which will be the Mahapuja, which will have all congregation members, which I mentioned in the beginning. Now, for all these to happen, we would require various team members at each center. So we are working with various mission centers, various mission center boards, with requests that the board nominates one person in charge for this entire event, and that one board member would be helped by the junior chicks, and they would form a team so that they can conduct these various programs that we have chalked down. This way, for that 1 month, there is that festivity that is brought in, wherein we get closer. And this is true upasana. Upasana, upa-asana. You're getting closest to that ideal. And ideal here being Gurudev. We will put the effort to reach Gurudev and his life and to understand him better. So that particular team will be responsible in conducting these 8-9 activities over a period of 1 month, and they will have a convoy of 4-5 cars, take the entire setup of Jyothi and the banners and all the material to the next center, and as a festivity, be received at the next center, and it will be that center's responsibility to take care of that Jyothi for 1 month and conduct these various activities and then move forward. Now, while we are, performing all these things, I'm sure every mission center would love to participate in such a grand event. Imagine after 15 months of such effort in various centers, if we can keep a log, if we can keep a log of all these events, as to how many families the Paduka Puja went into, how many families the Chinmaya Jyothi Yatra touched, how many members have joined in, how many youth have been inspired. It will be a staggering amount. Again, the purpose being to take Gurudev, his life, his vision and his mission, which can benefit various people at various aspects of their life. So I'm sure we will be successful in conducting it. On the flip side, what am I aiming for? What am I looking forward for after this entire humongous effort put? Mission members will appreciate and associate with Gurudev more intensely. At various mission centers, we have Balavihar, but we still are yet to set the Yuva Kendra and the junior chicks, J-chick as we call them. These chapters have not opened in yet. With this effort, we would have in 50 centers, a junior chick group and a chick group started. And while these junior chicks and chicks are being established, if we can also, one of the fields wherein we can take this Jyothi in the Yatra in each center is the nearest university, wherein we can have a forum, a workshop, which can enlighten Gurudev's life and his vision to the youth in the universities, thus thereby having an opportunity to start a chick chapter in the universities, because that is where I feel is the maximum need. So even if one center aims at opening the university chapter, at least in one university in their vicinity, at the end of this yatra, we would be able to offer 150 chick groups and 50 university chapters, a total of 100 chick groups. With these 100 chick groups, the reach and the offering that we would be making on Gurudev's 100th year, it would be just befitting that we have opened 100 chick chapters and be offering at his feet. Now, for the past 2 years, we have been successfully conducting youth empowerment program. The first year we had about 30 plus students, and the second year we had about 20 plus students. Now imagine if we have in 50 centers, 50 chick chapters and 50 university chapters started, and we are catching them young by the junior chick group and inspiring them with Gurudev's life. For the YUP course, there will be, even if you take one student representing from each center, we would have at least 50 people participating. By the end of this YUP course, we would have 50 trained volunteers who would take that responsibility for the next generation. All in all, conducting this beautiful, inspired Jyothi Yatra, it will only benefit the individual who is participating by understanding Gurudev's life and putting it into practice in their own day-to-day practices. Now, as you are listening to this, you may have various questions. I would request that if you do have any such questions, that if you can email it to chickwest, CHYKWEST, chickwest, JY, standing for Jyothi Yatra. So chickwestjy@gmail.com right now. It is open here with me, and I would be able to answer your questions as and when your questions reach me. Now, I have covered the purpose of Jyothi Yatra. I have covered various events that can be looked into for that 1 month of celebrations in each center. And what is the end goal that can be achieved as an offering to Puja Gurudev on his centennial celebrations. I have covered each one of these regions, each one of these topics. So we have about 50 big and small centers. We have divided them into South, Midwest, Northeast, and West. And this Jyothi or the lamp will be, the responsibility will be taken in by various acharyas like Acharya Vivek, Acharya Dhiren, and various such acharyas. And there is a new blood of acharyas that have come in. There are 3 in Toronto. Then there are a few more in Washington DC. Then we have a couple of them who had gone from Dallas for the Vedanta course. They are back, and the Trinidad Vedanta course has just concluded. We have those new acharyas coming in. So there's a lot of new blood in the acharyas. So we would love to involve them as well. So this 4 zones can have these various acharyas help at each center, thereby making this Jyothi Yatra a grand success. So if you have questions, you please email them to chickwestjy@gmail.com. If you can do so right now, I'll be able to answer it. If not, and just send in your queries. We would be responding them to you as soon as we get these questions. At this point, we have about 20 chicks centers, meaning at each Chinmaya Mission Center, we have about 20 Chinmaya Mission Centers where we have chick group running. And we have about 18 or 19 chick chapters running in universities. To expand them and to catch them young, so that it will help them at that particular age when it is of most importance. This particular activity will help us reach across and create these, strengthen these groups at various centers. Okay, I have received a question. I think a possible big issue with teenagers, junior chicks, that age group, maybe even chick, is lack of self-confidence or low esteem. I think chick interaction can play a huge role in lowering these sentiments. Personally, I know that Vedanta helped me deal with these issues. Is there a way for chicks to get trained on this type of issues? Can this issue be addressed in what the Jyothi Yatra is intending? This is from one of our Yuva Kendra members. Definitely, when we hand responsibility to the next generation, and if they have such issues of inferiority or low self-esteem or lack of self-confidence, and through proper guidance by the board members and the acharya, when they handle such events, and when they go through these various events, that it is not just a event but a series of events that they're taking responsibility of, it will only bring in an amount of confidence in themselves that they have accomplished something on a grander scale. And the bigger confidence is that whatever they are accomplishing, it is not just that they are alone. There is a huge group of family, not just in their center, but spread across, not just in North America, but the entire globe, which is celebrating along with them. And they are representing this huge, humongous effort worldwide at their center. Now, talking about a personal training to grow out of these low self-esteem or lack of self-confidence issues, I would suggest if we can gear up such people to join us in the regional planning conference. So we'll be having the regional planning conference for the South during the MLK weekend, and in the North, the South will be led by me, and in the North we have in Chicago, and it is clubbed with a camp, Love Thyself. And Love Thyself is bringing in that confidence within yourself. So if they can attend these camps, not just these camps, but on a regular basis we have these camps being conducted. If they can attend these and participate in it, it would definitely benefit such individuals. I hope I have addressed that particular issue. Because when they participate in such events, it is not just conducting a program. There is so much of communication that has to be developed. There is so much of leadership roles that they have to take. They have to make certain decision making process. They have certain objectives and take instructions or give instructions, create a budget, and create the supporting materials so that the event can be successfully conducted. And when one does take all these into account, and successfully concluded, definitely it will boost our own impression about ourselves and our capacities, and it would definitely benefit in bringing about change in each individual. So, of course, Gurudev's blessings will always be there. I think this would help people with such issues. I'll wait for another few moments. And if there are no further questions, as I said, we will have these email open for everyone so that you could send in your queries and we would be more than willing to help you. How will chicks be trained adequately, guided to undertake this huge initiative at their center? What are the planning coordination structures in place to help them? Today and 3 days from now, we are having this online webinar wherein we are trying to reach across to each center and train them accordingly for this particular event. So tomorrow we will have Raghuveer Akula. He will be dealing with how to understand the need of a center and how to develop a junior chick and a chick at various centers. Even if you have one, how to strengthen it. He will be covering that particular topic. The day after tomorrow and the day after that, Sharanya from Austin, she will be dealing with the communication skills, leadership roles, and how to develop these leadership skills. So the first set of training will happen on a webinar basis. The second set of training, wherein we will go into the nitty-gritty details and try to take various planning schemes into action. In the regional planning conference, we have 2 regional planning conferences planned, one for North and one for South. So that will be the second stage of training. And once this training is done, there will be Yuva Kendra members and Yuva Veers, where it is of a primary need, we would be able to send, or even the acharyas we would request to come down to each center and help them establish this group and give them adequate insight so that they can perform their roles and make this grand event a success. So I would request that you don't miss the next 3 days of webinar, which would enlighten us on the exact question being asked. So please do participate in it. I'm just trying to read the questions here. I think those are the 2 questions that have been asked so far. Okay, good. So I would say that this brings us to the conclusion of our first day. I hope and pray that we do our best in making this great event a success. Okay, I get another message that there is one more question coming. So we'll just wait for a couple of more minutes. Now, while we are waiting, I can probably look into the route. I'm just taking an example here. So we will start from the west zone. We'll start from Calgary, move to Vancouver, then move to Seattle, Portland, Piercy, Sacramento, San Jose, Bakersfield, LA, San Diego, Phoenix, Albuquerque, um, then we go to El Paso, and then come back to Dallas, wherein we will be celebrating it during our Mahasamadhi camp. Similarly, in the Midwest, we have Columbus, Ann Arbor, Flint, Northwest Indiana, Chicago, Minneapolis, Iowa City, Peoria, Kansas City, Kansas, Bentonville, Austin, and Dallas. In the South, we start from Miami, Tampa, Kissimmee, Orlando, St. Augustine, Raleigh, North Carolina, Alpharetta, Atlanta, Birmingham, New Orleans, Houston, Beaumont, and then finally reaching Dallas. In the Northeast, we would be covering Harlesville, Philadelphia, Plainsboro, New York City, Fairfield, Boston, Ottawa, Toronto, Halton, Niagara Falls, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Washington, and then it reaches Dallas. Now, this entire thing that I have spoken about, we have the first draft of the manual of Chinmaya Jyothi Yatra, which will be given by tomorrow or by this weekend to all the centers. Thereby, they exactly know all the items that we have spoken about, and as to how or what are required and how do we go about organizing these various events, a brief write-up is given. So this manual will be a handy help for each one of you. So I would say that we will conclude now. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.